Dears, today I have come up with another chapter, that is chapter number 4 from the diary of Anne Frank, written by Anne Frank. Now let's start. Before you read, Anneliese Mary Anne Frank, her name, Anneliese Mary Anne Frank, 12 June 1929 to February or March 1945, was a German-born Jewish girl. So in Germany there were two races, Jewish and Nazis, and Nazi belonged to Hitler. It was the time of World War II. Anne Frank belonged to Jewish, and Jewish were hiding from Nazis. So Anne Frank was a German-born Jewish girl who wrote while hiding with her family and for friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. The Germans occupying Netherlands. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany. The Hitler party, the Nazi government, occupied Netherlands, and that is the reason the Jewish, especially Anne Frank's family, moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany, but were trapped when the Nazi occupation extended in the Netherlands, and later on they were trapped. The family members of Anne Frank trapped where the Nazi occupied Netherlands. As persecution against the Jewish population increased, the family went in hiding in July 1942 in hidden rooms in her father Otto Frank's office building. Later on, they had no other way, so they moved to his father Otto Frank's office building. There they hid themselves. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system, where Anne died of typhus in Bergen-Belsen within days of her sister Margot Frank. After a few days of her sister Margot Frank died, Anne Frank also died of typhus. Her father Otto Frank, the only survivor of the group, and the rest died. Her father Otto Frank, the only survivor of the group, returned to Amsterdam after the war ended. World War II ended. After the war ended, to find that her diary, Anne Frank's diary, had been saved. Convinced that it was a unique record, the diary, which was written by Anne Frank, the father Otto Frank got, and the father convinced the publisher that it was a unique record. He took action to have it published in English under the name of The Diary of a Young Girl. The father published the diary in English and named it The Diary of a Young Girl. And this particular chapter is taken from the novel Diary of a Young Girl. The diary was given to Anne Frank of her 13th birthday. When she was 13, on her birthday the diary was given, and then she started writing. The diary was given to Anne Frank of her 13th birthday, and chronicles the event of her life from 12 June 1942. From 12 June 1942, she started writing in her diary until its final entry of 1st August 1944. The final entry was there on 1st August 1944. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages. Anne Frank had written her diary in Dutch language, her mother tongue, but later on it was translated into many languages. It published in many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television and theatrical productions, and even an opera. So in many ways it had been presented based on her diary. The movies, opera, these were presented. Described as a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation. Even it stated about the Nazis' behavior. Anne Frank has become one of the most renowned and discussed of the Holocaust victims. So it became the most renowned. Now let's start the chapter. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. A 13 years old girl, and writing a diary is a strange experience for her. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings. Musing means thoughts. In the musings of a 13-year-old school girl. So why it is a strange experience? Because she has never written before, and next point, she thinks because whatever a 13 years old girl is going to write, nobody would be interested to read in the later stage. She thinks that. So in that manner, it is strange. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter that somebody going to read or somebody would be interested to read her diary or not. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kind of things off my chest. And it doesn't matter somebody would be interested or not, but she wants to write. She wants to express her heart to someone. It may be someone or the diary. She wants to express her feelings. So she is going to write. Paper has more patience than people. And Frank says, paper has more patience than people. How? Paper has more patience than people. Because if you share your experience to somebody, then he or she might be going to reveal it to someone. And in that manner, the secret would be disclosed to each and everybody. But if you express your feelings on paper, then the paper is not going to reveal it until it is read by somebody. So Anne Frank says Pepper has more patience than people. One can trust Pepper than people. So Pepper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed, and that time she was really depressed, as we already have discussed that these people belong to Jews and they were hiding from Nazis. So when these people were really depressed, especially Anne Frank, she decided to write. She decided to express her feelings on paper. So I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and I was sitting at home with my chin on my hands. So she was sitting alone, bored and listless. She was sitting alone, she was bored and listless, no energy and no interest, wondering whether to stay in or go out. She was wondering, she was confused whether to stay inside the room or go out. I finally stayed where I was brooding. Brooding means thinking seriously. When she thought seriously, she stayed back in the room. So I finally stayed where I was brooding. Yes, Pepper does have more patience than people. And since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff back means with a hard cover, stiff back notebook, grandly means beautifully, referred to as a diary. Now this particular writing referred to as diary, when she is writing her thoughts in the diary and she can trust on the diary than people. So notebook grandly referred to as a diary. Unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. Until she is not going to get a real friend, she can express her feelings in the diary. Now I am back to the point that prompted me means encouraged me. So now I am back to the point that encouraged me to keep a diary or to write a diary. In the first place, I don't have a friend. She had no friend, and that is also a reason why she started writing a diary. First point, she wants to express her thoughts, she wants to express her feelings, and that is the reason she started writing diary, because she had no friend to share her experience. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. She says, it is hard to believe that a 13-year-old girl is lonely in the world. She had nobody to share her feelings. So let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. So one point she says she is alone in the world, and the other point she says that she is not alone. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. So she has family members and even having friends more than 30 friends. I have a family, loving aunts and a good home. And no, on the surface I seem to have everything in this world. It seems to have everything except my one true friend. She has everybody, loving parents, sister, and more than 30 friends, but she misses her true friend. There is no one she can call a true friend. In that manner, she tells that she is alone in the world. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. So all she thinks when she would be nearby her friends, more than 30 friends, she would be happy. All I think about when I am with my friends is having a good time. She would be happy. She would be enjoying the time when she would be surrounded by friends. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. But when I'm surrounded, the N says, when she is surrounded by more than 30 friends or her friends, but that particular time she only express her ordinary things, day-to-day life. We don't seem to be able to get any closure, but the friends don't seem to be very close to N friend, to whom N can share her inner feelings. We don't seem to be able to get any closure, and that is the problem. She feels lonely. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide each other. So N friend says, might be it is her fault that they don't trust each other. We don't confide in each other. In any case, that is just how things are. But anyhow, in any case, that is the reality. That is the truth. That is just how things are. And unfortunately, they are not liable to change. And one cannot trust. They are not liable. And to them, she cannot share her inner feelings. This is why I have started the diary. And that is the reason she started writing a diary. She started expressing her inner feelings to diary, to whom she can trust.